And what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly? A couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell?
What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Let's kick it off. First things first, the HBAR price chart. So Bitcoin is taking a dump. Currently, the total crypto market cap is just at $1 trillion even. We can see that Bitcoin is just under 20K at $19,996. Now, we're seeing a lot of other assets taking a hit, and I wanted to point out HBAR. So, dating back to even September of 2019, this is when I was actually buying HBAR at launch, and I overpaid for it, of course, and it was dumping. I just DCA'd all the way down, and it's great to see that HBAR is finally getting the publicity it deserves. And I still imagine during the next bullish cycle that HBAR will be one of the few assets that survives and thrives. Turning the lights on and looking at HBAR's all-time low price just under 1 cent. It went as high as 56 cents last year. So from its all-time low price in the beginning of 2020 up until September 2021, HBAR did over a 56x return. So over a 5,000% increase. I'm also starting to see a lot of other accounts that never talked about HBAR starting to cover it, which is awesome. I think this is going to be a great entry long term. Now everybody's talking about this coming from Coinbase, assets added to the roadmap. So we have Hedera or HBAR along with NEAR. So these two assets have been added to the roadmap to be added to Coinbase. So an announcement of an announcement. Now everybody's acting like this is like brand new. This is actually an older blog as well. It was in fact updated. I know I've done a lot of videos covering this back in July of 2020, so over 2 years ago. Coinbase continues to explore support for new digital assets. You can see they were talking about adding HBAR over 2 years ago. So I'll believe it when I see it. And yes, I do believe now that we have native staking for HBAR right on Hedera's mainnet. That is another checkmark that Coinbase wanted to see for a layer 1 smart contract platform to be added to Coinbase. Talking about exploring support for new assets including HBAR. Okay, so now on coinbase.com/custody/assets, we can see a list of assets. Notice that HBAR is still not here yet. Now, the good thing about Coinbase Custody is that a lot of institutions use Coinbase Custody. We also have the news of Aladdin and BlackRock plugging into Coinbase for institutional customers. BlackRock has $10 trillion assets under management. They're connecting to crypto. The same organizations that said this asset class is a scam. They would never touch Bitcoin. JP Morgan called Bitcoin rat poison. Yet JP Morgan holds tons of Ethereum. Of course, they're making their own JPM coin for an intra-network to retain any control they can. And overall, every asset you see listed here to Coinbase Custody, including XRP, it's a good thing for the ecosystem. We want bridges. We want liquidity. Money goes where it can flow. You have AVAX. You have Solana, you have Algo, you have Quant. It only makes sense to add HBAR as well. And we know Circle's USDC stablecoin, which I prefer over Tether, already has obvious connections to Solana, AVAX, HBAR, XLM, and a variety of others. So HBAR being listed on Coinbase, being listed on every major exchange, having actual on-ramps to institutions as well for custody is a no-brainer. Once an asset is on Coinbase Custody, we can also assume iTrustCapital since they use Coinbase Custody. And of course, Fireblocks. Because Fireblocks is quickly becoming the #1 custody platform in the world, over 1,300 of the largest FIs powered by Fireblocks. You can see right on their platform, they are SOC 2 certified, just like RippleNet, Crypto.com, and a variety of other platforms. They also have DeFi, accessing DeFi apps with enterprise-grade protection, allowing governance and anything in between. We also have Fireblocks, a Web3 engine in the bottom right here. We can see the only enterprise-grade platform for developers developing the next generation of NFTs, GameFi, and DeFi. AML compliance and tokenization. And also linked in the top of the YouTube video description, we have my link tree, and we have right here my must-have OTC broker that also leverages Fireblocks. Next up, shared by Harry. If you guys were in crypto in 2017, especially the XRP community before XRP absolutely ripped and took off, this guy is an absolute legend. Showing a quick price chart, the XRP versus Bitcoin price chart, start of a potential 4-year breakout versus Bitcoin. As you can see, breaking out of that range. Now we know that Bitcoin just dumped. Let's look at the chart today. So the XRP Bitcoin price chart on Bitstamp on the daily, dating back to as far as March 2017 before we had that first huge bullish cycle for XRP. Looking at this, early spring 2017, XRP pumped 5,700% alone against Bitcoin. Now you can see we've just been coiling up for several years, and I really hope this breaks. We could draw a trend line. It's just highly subjective, as you can see. Depending on where you want to see the top is it that? Is it that? If we use that metric and kind of look at these points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, did we break out? So did we officially break out of this multi-year range, or do we have to wait a little bit longer? Next up, shared by Status, we have a quote from the Ripple CEO just a couple months ago at the Collision Conference in Toronto. In quotes, if we lose our lawsuit with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, we will leave the United States entirely. And please remember, over 90% of Ripple's customer base today and over 90% of RippleNet's volume today exists outside of the United States. Ripple the company will be fine. But I want clarity for XRP in the United States. We know that Singapore, Switzerland, the UK, the UAE, Japan, and a few other countries have already determined XRP to not be a security. But I want regulatory clarity in the United States. Also, touching on this, you can see Casper Association in Switzerland. Switzerland is key. I always keep tabs on these GitHubs for Casper, API 3, any project I can find. And what you want to do is make sure that they are making a lot of code commits, or they're updating things in their repository. Look at the issues they're fixing. Some of it is in fact public. So as you can see, API 3, their documents, updated 10 hours ago, updated yesterday with Airnode. You can see their DAO dashboard updated yesterday. This is one of the most active GitHubs in the crypto market. So although we're not happy about price performance in a bear market, this too will pass. And what's important to note is you don't have to like these projects. I personally do, not financial advice. But when you're looking at projects, even if you're using a tool like Crypto Miso, look at assets that are active via GitHub. This is good. You want to see high levels of activity. I don't want to just buy or gamble on some coin and they haven't updated their GitHub in over a year. That is a complete gamble. It's most likely a dead project. And Casper and API 3 are just getting started. Now, speaking of this website right here, CSPR.live, this is where you can stake your Casper, and I did want to emphasize just a few things. So I see a lot of people asking, Kevin, are there any security risks? Is there a risk of slashing? No, there's no slashing on Casper's network, so you're good to go. Don't have to worry about that. Another thing people question is when you do in fact connect your wallet up here and you delegate your tokens to a validator, and then they stake your tokens and you can earn annual rewards. In this case, I'm earning 11% APY minus some of the validator fees. And people are asking a great question. Can I lose my coins? Can I lose my Casper tokens if I'm delegating them for staking? And they actually answered this right in Casper's Telegram, and they just emphasized, no, you cannot lose your tokens. You'll always be able to undelegate your tokens even if the validator stops. So that's very good to know. So overall, you'll always be able to control your tokens. So if I'm delegating 1 million Casper over to Forest Staking or Ghost Staking or Alliance Block, if their validator even stops, I can always withdraw my tokens. And my buddy Clemens actually shared this in the Casper channel in my Discord, and we can see. We have Joe right here, a Casper engineer. We have red teams trying to break our stuff all the time. Casper is robust in being built from the ground up correctly. Also, just a tech guy, what a joke, in referring to this. So there's a lot of different projects that are connecting to BNB Chain or Binance Chain. And the question is, why can't I convert my BNB chain to other chains? And the answer is a joke. Right now, our aim is to grow the ecosystem on BNB Chain, essentially only BNB Chain. And therefore, we are only supporting one-way bridging from other chains to BNB, meaning it is not bi-directional. It can't go both ways. Basically, they have a vested interest in only growing their BNB chain without interoperability to other networks, including Ethereum or Algo or AVAX, even Solana, even though I'm not the biggest fan. Now, CZ, the CEO of Binance, is an absolute genius. I highly recommend catching one of the next videos I upload, sharing what IRONKeyCapital has shared. It is a flywheel demonstration of BNB and really a case study on why BNB has been so successful thus far. BNB from its all-time low has done over a 7,000x return. The token burns, the token buybacks, everything by design is just to grow the price of the network. But this is not good. This is the same problem we're facing today with centralization. We want things to go bi-directional and be interoperable. Now check this clip out. This is in 1995. Bill Gates trying to explain what the internet was, and the audience laughed at him.
But you know, I think about this, and what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember A couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I
mean? There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
Exactly.
and then you can come
That's
back
the RAM
a year
thing
later.
you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell? Yeah, I just don't know. What can you, just knowing me the little you know me now, what am I missing here? What do I need?
Well, if you want to learn about the latest cigars or auto racing statistics.
Well, you know, I've got that covered. I subscribe to 2 British magazines devoted entirely to motorsports, and I call the Quaker State Speed Line about 2 times a half hour. So now, would the computer give me more than I'm getting that way?
Oh, you can find other people who have the same unusual interests you do, and
just as this picture says, everything in this picture is now in your pocket. So I know that's back in 1995. That was really before, email was mainstream. That was before Amazon was at scale. And even as a kid, like, my mom was one of the first people to order on Amazon for like Christmas gifts, like right when Amazon launched, as soon as they started expanding just beyond books. And everybody was like laughing at her. What? You order your Christmas gifts for the kids online? They thought it was insane. Right in our phone now, you have a calculator, you have a flashlight, you have a camera for pictures, you have video, you have audio recording, you have texting, you have emailing, you have social media, which is just another thing within itself. It's mind-boggling, the processing power that we carry in our pockets. Where are we going to be in the next 20 years? So in that clip with Bill Gates and David Letterman kind of joking about the internet, we're seeing a lot of parallels today on the news when they're doing interviews and talking about NFTs or the hype of cryptocurrencies. And they kind of think it's silly to have some currency that has no control or central authority. But if anything, that's just the next obvious step in evolution of not even just finance, but data. So we had Web 1 where you could publish information. We had Web 2.0 where you could publish it, but then you could edit it. Think on, certain websites, but you don't necessarily own the data. And how do you verify that you own it? Enter Web 3. Now, people just think NFTs are silly JPEGs or pictures that you attach to a token to an extent, but there's also NFTs with actual utility. And you could do about 5 minutes of research right on Google and look at some live NFT use cases. Remember, NFTs, a non-fungible token, is just a digital certification. So this could be land registry, this could be a title, whether it's, to your vehicle, to a home, anything like that. And for example, even Casper's blockchain right now is live with actually making patented information NFTs, meaning that you can take patents, trademarks, intellectual property, and IP, and tokenize it as a token on the blockchain. Everybody can see who owns that trademark or that patent in real time. You can trade that patent in real time within seconds, and you just pay some fees on the network and it is all automated. This is really just an internet of everything so that you don't just have to trust a single centralized database. This is the next step in evolution of data. And remember, the foundation of all of this are tokens in this crypto asset class. So remember, not every single crypto asset is going to have an actual need in the future. Some will go to zero. You have to find the right ones that could very well serve as the bedrock for Web 3 or even Web 4. Who knows what's next in terms of VR and the metaverse. But just remember, there's actual real utility. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of BS. Just like early internet companies, a lot of them went to zero, but then what rose out of the ashes? The FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. So what I'm asking, and I'm still researching every day, is out of, 3,000, 5,000 crypto assets, they're not going to be around in the future. What are going to be the top 5? What are going to be the top 50 that could very well be the FANG stocks of cryptocurrency? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. All links can be found in my link tree linked in the video description, and I will catch you in the next one.